I want to promote this, but I also want to play this for you guys because I think this was cool. It's not every day that I get a chance to interview Joe Montana. Today I did. So I'm going to let you guys hear the question that I asked him, and here it is. Joe, let's talk a little bit about Brock. A lot of things that he does well. I mean, he processes well. He throws with timing. He throws with accuracy. A lot of the same things that you did. Do people have compared him, and obviously that could be a burden because of how great of a player you were. But do you see any similarities in the two in your game compared to his? And what do you think of Purdy so far?
Well, I never really try to compare, one quarterback to another because the styles are all different.
Sure.
But the one thing you can look at are the things that you said that, he processes quickly, ball comes out of his hand quickly, he makes good decisions, and he throws accurately. And you can't ask more of a quarterback. And as you can see, that system fits him and his style because he plugged in pretty quickly there. I mean, to come in from where he was and be thrown into that game, hey, my hat's off to him. I look forward to seeing him play. He's exciting, and he's got a pretty good team with him, and that always helps out a quarterback anytime when you got some weapons like they do.
Joe, let's talk. There you go. That was a great thrill, man, getting a chance to interview the great Joe Montana. I was 11 years old, guys, when he won the Super Bowl in 1981, and getting a chance later in life to interview him a few times. It's it's just not. It's. I don't get too excited, or I never get nervous on the radio or on this show, but I do get excited sometimes when I get to do certain things that are super cool. And when I filled in today on the 95.7 The Game morning show, the program director called me last week. He's like, "Hey, by the way, you're gonna have Joe Montana on with you." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, he's got this whiskey that he's promoting and this and that. He's doing a media tour, and it just happens to be the day you're filling in." And I'm like, "Awesome, I'll be ready." So thanks to Matt Nahagian and thanks all the people at 95.7 The Game for giving me an opportunity to interview my hero, my childhood hero today. What'd you think of what Joe said there, though?
It doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, he has a lot of the same qualities that Joe had from a mental capacity standpoint. I think both of them are very mentally strong. I think both of them relied on accuracy and precision, and both of them were actually pretty damn athletic. So I think Joe, it's interesting because Joe definitely has an ego. And when he's like, well, I don't compare quarterbacks. What he means is I'm not comparing anybody to me because I'm the greatest is what he's thinking. But he definitely respects Brock's game. He sees a lot, I'm sure, of his game in Brock. And, if that's what you're looking for, then yeah, I mean, he does. There's a lot of similarities there. So I completely understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, I had similar thoughts. I thought what he said about Purdy from evaluation standpoint was completely fair, and I also like that he took the comparison out of it. It puts an unnecessary pressure on a player, and it also creates unnecessary expectations, and people will run with those quotes and all of that. And so I will say one of my most frustrating points when great players talk about stuff in the media, and I'll even equate this to Steve Young, is they often go back to their career and their personal experiences, which is great. But often when you're giving everything of your analysis as something anecdotal, it's tough to look at because at the end of the day, you're one of the greatest players ever. That's not something that applies for the average player. And I liked that he talked about Brock Purdy for his situation here, rather going back to what Bill used to say or what Mike Holmgren used to tell him and what that meant about his career and all of that. I like this answer a lot. Great question, Krug.